Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Two are home already, but take me home, boy. Take me home to this special place that I envision. You know, take us all home to this Trinidad and Tobago that really realizes its beauty and its potential. Take me home to the unity that can really push our people and propel us together forward to the realization of so much opportunity. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. My apologies for starting a little bit late this morning. I know many people have it on timer, you know, and look forward to just having these discussions on a morning, just hearing some discourse from, you know, average Trinbagonians with exceptional hearts. I wouldn't even say exceptional minds, right? Out of humility, we are just doing our very, very best to educate, to try to get to the bottom of some of the tremendous issues that we also face as a nation. We are young, we are growing as well, and it is natural for us to have certain challenges that we face, but we must confront them. We must face truth, right? We must face the truth of our issues. It makes no sense for us to keep running around and avoiding and trying to escape the reality of our issues. So I touched through the papers this morning, maybe for a little too long. There were a number of articles that stood out to me. Of course, yesterday in the House of Representatives, the House that has all of the people who we have elected as representatives, well, that is those of us who made that effort through this electoral process. I think 45 or more % of the electorate, which are the people who are registered to vote. And then obviously we have always a split in the electorate in their support for different representatives. You know, just a cursory look at the entire picture. And of course then those representatives in theory come together to choose a leader from within themselves to stand and to lead government business. The group that has the majority, because sometimes the group is not just one singular party, but you find that others join and come across with one party or another to give someone or some group a majority. And we of course know that we've made history in terms of a large majority given to this UNC coalition, and they have the capacity to push through legislation in our lower house, and then of course in the upper house, which is also reflective of that majority, of course with some additional independent people who are supposed to be independent, who are selected by the president, who is selected by the electoral college, the electoral college is usually controlled by, because of its composition, a majority goes to the prime minister. So just to understand the dynamic, But of course, at the moment, we have a president who was selected from the last administration's prime minister. And of course, she is viewed in some ways, maybe because of her active role in politics with the PNM, to be a little less impartial than a president should be. Just giving a overall picture. But we had this this motion to continue a state of emergency, and I read some of the words of Mr. Jeremy very carefully, our Attorney General at this point, and he would have indicated that, he understands that based on our past experiences with the last administration, there is a level of distrust among the population. You got that right. You have definitely got that correct. And that we should not so much apply that distrust to this administration. And I understand that. But it is our natural inclination to be very skeptical about politics and our politicians, given our past. We are people who know that once bitten, twice shy. And come on, Trinidad and Tobago, we have not just been bitten once, right, by our representatives. We have been bitten on numerous occasions. We have been left disappointed on a number of occasions. Some of us have checked out, right? So I spoke about the electorate. Those are people who are registered to vote. So we have a shortfall in our electorate because there are people who could possibly vote, but they're not even making themselves viable to vote. Right? You follow that, right? Because they have checked out. There's some people who have other reasons who say, they're just not interested in that electoral process. They have checked out. And then even further to that, Trinidad and Tobago, you have the registered electorate, people who can vote and who have done the things that enable them to vote. They have a legitimate identification. They're on the voters list, so to speak. So many of them, I think a majority, I haven't looked back at the percentage of the electorate that voted, but in many cases, sometimes it's a majority that do not vote. That on a Monday decide, I ain't getting up and going out there to choose between what exists. That is not so important to me, even though I am afforded the opportunity through time if I am working, etc. That also speaks towards what Mr. Jeremy may have spoken about in terms of our lack of trust. So we, as a people, are on an uphill climb towards trusting our leadership. And we are not so easily convinced by things that come and information that is given to us. We take it with right, we are plenty Trinbagonian sayings that we are intelligent people. Our cultures have offered us wise words from a multiplicity of continents. So we take things with a pinch of salt. Sometimes we take things with a pound of salt. You have to absolutely satisfy us as a people, because we have been bitten. We are the children of those who have been oppressed. It is historically there. We have been beaten, we have been oppressed. I'm not just talking about the Afro-Trinbagonian, right? The Indo-Trinbagonian, who also is a majority, we make up the masses of the population, has been mistreated as well through history. So we look on very, very cautiously. A majority exists, and there's going to be the extension of this SOE. Let it be sufficient. If there was a specific threat, let this time be sufficient. Representatives, take the necessary actions and let it be sufficient. This is not something that we need to continually utilize. Yes, you know, we listening, we hearing you about the people who are imprisoned. It's even incorrect to call them criminals, right? Because they have, the majority of the people that we are speaking about are on remand, waiting for their day in court. So these individuals who are incarcerated, you say they were put together in one place, and now they are unifying in some of the things that they are doing or directing outside of the prisons. Why? Why would these individuals take such steps against our administrations? Does it have anything to do with their frustrations and the judiciary in and of itself that is dragging, that is seeing the reality of individuals with the presumption of innocence spending a decade and more waiting to be tried? Oh, how difficult it is for us to put ourselves in other people's shoes. But how would you feel and what would you become if that type of injustice is inflicted on you? Because a fundamental aspect of justice is justice on time. And I ain't talking about amalgamated making millions carrying us up and down. That seems to be the only justice on time. They seem to be the winners economically. And of course, Trinidad and Tobago loses. As we spend how much ever, thousands of dollars daily, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. And as we go into the second segment, you know, the break is coming. I read very carefully another article this morning about the former head of SORT, what was the name of that agency under Mr. Griffith, who, Mr. Mark Hernandez, who was held and charged for certain things in relation to the death of two individuals, Mr. Morris and Mr. Belcon. I'll go through the article. Now he's presumed to be innocent. The former head of a unit, a police unit, someone charged with the responsibility to protect and serve. And we had the death of two individuals while in custody. One of them, from what information has been given to us, and we could only presume that the other, who is dead as well, is innocent until proven guilty. But one of them, all of the information that we got thereafter, points to him not being responsible for the death of Miss Andrea Barrett. But of course, Mr. Hernandez was granted bail. He was charged not for murder, but for some lesser crimes. But 2 men are dead. And of course, we know the infamous line about falling off of a chair. They fell off of chairs, or one fell off a chair. I don't know what's the excuse with the other. What are we doing in our society? Where is this justice? So we take the break. Y'all could think about it. Y'all could read the articles. And we'll be back. Blessings, everybody.
It's a flavor, nah. For this summer can't tame us, nah. Just the crunch, come live it up. Hey, it's Java, it's summertime. KFC makes it all come alive. Big limes turn into big appetites. It's the beach with KFC, yeah. I'm gonna spice up the summer, let's go. Let's go. Chase the crunch for the summer, yeah. KFC, it's finger licking good.
When your corporate event needs more than just food, it needs an experience, a Michelin experience. From mouth-watering buffet spreads to beautiful packed takeaway boxes, the Michelin Experience Limited delivers more than just wheels. We deliver flavor. We deliver satisfaction. We deliver excellence straight to your boardroom. Whether it's a conference, board meeting, or a retirement function, go beyond basic. Go bold. Go Michelin Experience Limited. Call us now at 1-868-474-2250 or follow us on social media at Michelin Experience. Great food, exceptional service every time.
Celebrate Christmas in July at Furniture Plus. Shop kitchen cabinets from $5.59, bed frames from $8.99, appliances from $11.99, plus free gifts and free delivery with select purchases. Come shop the best deals at Furniture Plus.
This isn't just a bottle, it's a moment. Coca-Cola is asking you to come out on August 2nd at Shops at West City Canaan, 12 to 5 p.m. and customize your Coke. Can't find your name in stores? We'll print it. More info on Instagram and Facebook at Caribbean Bottlers TT. Light up your weekends at Vibes Nightclub, Tobago's hottest spot. 3 epic nights of music and energy await every Thursday. Karaoke Thursdays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Grab the mic, unleash your inner star, and sing all night. Beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and giveaways for the best singers. Every Friday, Limers Fridays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Vibes with your crew and enjoy beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and 2 White Oak for $25. Every Saturday, Raw Saturdays. Everything goes, nothing but good vibes. Free entry and an all-star DJ cast to bring the vibes. Vibes Nightclub is where Tobago shines. Join us Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for music, fun, and unforgettable nights. Don't miss out. Your weekend starts at Vibes.
Bring the whole family. It's Family Day at the Lijasu Omawale Emancipation Village. Sunday, 27 July from 11 a.m. Come and share lunch with us. Enjoy authentic African dishes and your favorite local cuisines in a village full of culture, color, and community. Then at 3:30 p.m., the youth takes center stage with the explosive sounds of the Youth Steel Explosion. And as the sun sets, Wind down to the smooth jazz and close the night with the rich melodic sounds of the steel pan bands under the stars. It's Family Day, where joy, culture, and rhythm meet. Lejasu Omawale Village, Sunday, 27 July from 11 a.m. Be there.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the Healthiest.
The time is 7 a.m. This time check is sponsored by Nescafe Ready to Drink. It just hits different.
And the playlist right, it hits different. Can you feel that shift? Nescafe, ready to drink. On the road, be on the go. Just grab your crew and grab your boo. Hits different, hits different. Vanilla latte mocha, it's different. With Nescafe, the party never over.
Nescafe, ready to drink.
We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. Play way fast cash, that is the fit. We rollin' big. Fast cash and play way take win. No extra spend, just vibes and luck. Play way and fast cash turn up. We rollin', yes we rollin' big. Fast cash and play way take win. Mega mix or monster pick. Jackpot from 10,000 quick.
Jackpot starting at $10,000 have now been added to NLCB's Playway and Fast Cash games. Wager on Playway Mega Mix or Fast Cash Monster Draw for a chance to win the jackpot after every draw. Don't miss out. Visit NLCBGames.com for details. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Can't find your name on the bottle? No stress. Coca-Cola wants you to stop by shops at West City Canaan on August 2nd, 12 to 5 p.m. and get yours custom made. Share a smile, share a Coke. Find out more on our Instagram and Facebook at Caribbean Bottlers TT.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. I don't think I even said good morning. A good morning to Trinidad and Tobago, right? Of course, all praises due to the Almighty Creator. We thank Him for life and the ability to be here this morning. Welcome, caller. Morning.
Hey, Todd. Morning.
Morning, morning.
Todd, I mean, when I look at this situation with the crime in this country, and I look at what I was hearing coming up with 37% in the news last night, and also the prisons, I think it's the union, somebody from the prisons always talking, and they were saying that these criminal gangs, the leaders, they put all of them in one area. So the thing is about, and even the prison man was saying, he has told them, don't put those guys, those are leaders. Don't put them together. So when they used to fight against each other, and they used to give orders to all the followers and saying to get hit out and this and that, because they were together, they were able to come together now and devise a plan to send to the people on the outside. So I think that is what they were saying. That should never have happened. The young leaders, they shouldn't have had them together. And even the prison man was saying that. He was saying that they shouldn't have done that. And I remember when Andrea Barrett died, and I mean, this country was really, they grieved for that child. And that guy, they found them with her things, and one of the girlfriends had her stuff, and that is how they were sure those were the guys that held her, Because I really, if I remember correctly, at that time when Gary came in as commissioner, the first crime he saw was this Maria dance where they kidnapped her in UAE, and they found her in a couple hours, and then they found the lady who was kidnapped in after the gym, and then Andrea Barrett was killed, and they found those guys based on information, and they found the girlfriend of one of them with her things. So based on, I mean, information is at our fingertips. We all get information as it comes. And if I remember correctly, but Andrea Barrett stayed with a lot of us because of her gruesome death as a young girl. And I remember seeing her father being put up by the police just to go and identify her body. But I mean to say, I think that I think the government, honestly, if I had to look at things as much as with the SOE, and we are being able to, without being restricted, they are dealing with stuff behind the scenes. And the fact that you're not seeing Asaka killing and gang killing and police killing and lots of judges being killed, something is happening positively, but it doesn't affect us and our movement, our free movement. So I agree with them that if it says that they need this SOE to kind of keep their things under control and separate these guys and bring some normalcy back based on what they're sharing, I think that's a good move, honestly, because right now crime is not as rampant as we see it was getting. It's kind of calmed down. I think they're on the right path, honestly.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your opinions. No problem at all. Not to mix the two up too much, right? So information is always given to the population of Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, whether that information is genuine, whether it is true, is another issue. I think even those in administration, in positions of responsibility, our representatives, they find difficulty in really understanding if the information that is passed on to them is also genuine. Let us be real. Right? Let us be real. And I think that is a tremendous challenge that our representatives, that our Prime Minister and others will have continuously in trying to understand if the information that is passed on to them is genuine or not genuine. So when we speak about Andrea Barrett's case specifically, it strikes a chord with us. It is concerning for us, but have we gotten the truth? Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Yeah, morning, Paul.
Morning, brother.
Yeah, blessed. Fuad, well, I listen to the program we're on the scene here now. You know something, but seeing that I get the number and thing and whatever, I want to have some personal consultation with you because of the fact that I believe the world in a chaos, in a mess. The amount of different religions it have, and you know something, I have a keen idea that all religion have a fragment of good, and it has some things where a next person might agree with. But I believe, like you're saying, your father have a statement that all streams does lead to the sea, which is so good. I put that in the back of my head. I want to write a song about that. Right? Everything does run to the sea. All rivers does run to the sea. And it's so true. So I think humanity still have to work out some strategy to find out the things, especially, you see, it has something they call stolen legacy. I believe Rome have all the knowledge of all the different colonies that they have, they seek now, they dominate, right? They have everybody artifacts, every idea about everybody culture. But it's we on the outside have to find it. So that is why we have so much corruption within the world, within religion and all kind of things. This is why me as a Rasta, right? I don't hold on to no particular religion, right? I feel truth is one thing. Truth is truth, right? And once it makes sense and it has some value onto good, and that to me is a religion of itself. And the governments, unless them ruling whether the country or the youth or wherever, within the light of truth and good, are talking about what good is good, right? For instance, like, look what's going on in the world, even in Canada and Fuad. I watching the amount of homeless people, Canada, America, and billions of dollars they're spending for one nuclear warhead. One nuclear weapon, and they're blowing it up in the sky before it could even touch ground. And real people suffering. So these things so factual on the basis of truth. And it have a reason why they're doing that. I believe Satan knows time is in, and he corrupting humanity in such a way that, you know, he wants lives. He wants lives. And you know, we have to sit down and really organize a system or an ideology to encounter what they're doing with the dividing with politics and religion, I believe. Thanks for so much time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Are we any closer to understanding what was responsible for Miss Barrett's death? There were a number of theories being spun all around, but dead man tell no tales. And you say that, you know, there was some implements, some property belonging to her that was recovered by one of the guy's girlfriend or something like that. I'm not even sure about the information. Is that sufficient? Go ahead, caller. Morning. Morning, caller. Go ahead. Right, I think we're having a little difficulty on our line. 3420081. You can try that one, caller. Sorry about that. Right? Are we any closer to understanding what took place when we kill a suspect or these suspects? Are we any closer, or are we closing books on justice? And then when we make mistakes, because for all the information that we got thereafter, Mr. Morris was not responsible. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Yeah, brother. Morning to you and your listener. Do you hear me good?
Yeah, man. Loud and clear. Welcome, bro.
So this is so important what you're discussing here. And if we don't really start to think about how human beings are, then we could really get carried away with what has become the norm. Because many persons, right, because of what exists, with the involvement of so many people in crime, believe that when police kill a suspect, that we actually foil our case, which is very far from the truth.
Yeah, which is an ignorant perspective, is backward thinking.
And this is the reason why investigations have to take place, right? When whatever takes place, whether it's inside or outside of the SOE, because just like how the police would have taken the lives of 2 people while they were carrying out their duty for this recent kidnapping here, no one is to know if the crime was foiled as yet, because let me just hypothetically say maybe a police officer could have been involved with that, right? And he know, all right, we're going up to the place to raid which part I know she is. I call the people and say, oh, wait for me up there, I come in, right? And we kill them and have them as the suspects. While the mastermind still, nothing happens.
Brother, I could tell you about another case not so long ago. 3 individuals killed suspected, they say these gang members who were involved in a kidnapping, right? Money was paid, money never found. And case closed. So I don't know, the Bush spending the money or some kind of thing. So I mean, and everybody is happy. The society says, yay. That ain't really impressive to me. I don't know if who that is impressive to, but that's not impressive to me.
Yeah, you're correct. And they just showing you one hand and the next hand is behind the back. There needs to be thorough investigations into everything that takes place in order to really get to the bottom of things, because, as I say, nobody knows without the proper evidence being produced and being considered what really is the real factor in the matter. Are we just to trust the actions and the words of the police all the time and go based on that?
Yeah.
We need to start to think as a society, man.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah, definitely. We need to start to think as a society, boy. And Mr. Hernandez, who would have been held for a certain level of responsibility, misbehavior in public office, and charged on the advice of the DPP, etc., it has now won his matter, so he is free. Quiet caller, morning. Yeah, so you hung up a little early there. Feel free to call back. And I'm not judging his matter particularly, you know. I'm saying that there was and there still is a level of lack of accountability taking place in our institutions that is dangerous. No joke danger, you know. There's a danger that innocent people are being killed. There's a danger that people are being killed and situations are being covered up. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Fuad. Mr. Fuad, I haven't read the newspaper with respect to that matter. But was there a trial?
Yeah. So the High Court yesterday would have dismissed his matter. He was charged for misbehavior in public service, and he was on bail. So, you know,
right,
so.
But the court dismissed throughout the matter. Well, dismissed the case.
Yeah.
Right. Insufficient evidence.
I'm going to read through the article to give the reasons for the dismissal as provided. Yeah?
All right. Well,
You can call back after if you want to comment on it.
yeah, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. So, but what I want to help us to understand in general is that we have to be more aware of what is taking place within our society, and we have to move our consciousness and our understanding to a higher place than just kill them and whatever. If there is a syndicate carrying out kidnapping, for example, and you kill the individuals who you find who you find with the kidnapped victim, then how are you going to get to the bottom of what is taking place to prevent it from taking place again? It's nonsensical, and I'm saying that I have a real distrust. I have a real distrust for individuals who are supposed to be acting in our interests, who have been proven on numerous occasions to be involved in nefarious activity. And I'm saying that if we are not wise enough, we are given a leeway to organized criminals, really organized criminals, who wear uniforms to do whatever they feel within our society. And that is dangerous. We are doing a disservice to justice, because I was touched as well by the Andrea Barrett case, and I wanted justice. But justice is not to individuals who we ain't so sure about. We just going on what they tell us. One was the rental man who rent a vehicle to somebody, which was found afterwards, falling off chairs supposedly and dying. That cannot suffice our desire for justice. An innocent man, from a cursory look at the matter, being beaten to death or falling off a chair, that's not justice. That's not sufficient for us as a people. And I'm saying that our representatives need to be extremely careful with the information that these people are bringing to us. There are some rogue elements who we are depending on, who, no matter what, they don't want to wear body cameras, who have been implicated time and again in different criminal activities, who everybody who lives on the ground in our society know do not adhere properly to the tenets of the service that they've joined. Let us be careful. I urged caution with our representatives and this so-called thing, this information that they say they bring to us. So, for the clarity of those who are very interested in the matter as well, I want justice for Ms. Barrett, whoever was responsible. I want that justice. Even after her death, and even after the death of a suspect, I prefer if some trial takes place for that subject, even in his absence, so that we are ensured that that criminal who would kill a young woman, and the reasons are unearthed. Morning, brother.
Assalamu alaikum. Fuad.
Yeah, wa alaikum salam, brother.
I have fighter that suffice I speak out. You know, yesterday the man text me and tell me go scrape all the thing for right 12 o'clock today. Because I was going to dragging him, you know. What Fuad?
That good to hear, man. I'm glad to hear at least he sorted out that.
Yeah, he's looking to sort out something, man. Because it's 3 months, went to four months now. He implement 4 fortnights now.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I taken in the debate yesterday, but the honorable conversation sister, she was on fire, but
right.
I find Kramer said that I don't know what to call him.
Yeah, we on radio, behave yourself now, man.
Yeah?
We on radio, behave yourself.
Alright, bless you,
Alright, nice, man, blessings. Yeah, so let me just try to reach in the article this morning to the right point. In 2021, Mr. Hernandez, then 46, was arrested at his home on April the 14th and formally charged on April the 19th by officers of the Professional Standards Bureau, following consultations with the Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Roger Gaspard. He was charged with misbehavior in public office in connection with the alleged treatment of Andrew Morris and Joel Balcon, two suspects detained during the investigation in the 2021 kidnapping and murder of Andrea Barrett. Both men later died while in police custody. The charges arose amid public outcry and calls for accountability following the deaths of Morris and Balcon. Speaking yesterday at the news conference at the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain, Hernandez claimed that he had been victimized, adding that during the investigation into Barrett's disappearance, SWAT officers treated the case as a rescue mission as they had no indication she had been killed. Let me try to find the part where his matter was dismissed. Alright, let me see if the end here has the information that we need, Mr. West. He said that while some issues will be ventilated in a different forum at a different time, we can say today what we can say today is that from the ruling of Master Adia Mohammed, the court master found that on the evidence that was placed before the court in 27 witness statements that had been filed, that a critical element of the charge was not proven, and therefore, in those circumstances, the court found that there was not sufficient evidence for the charge to go forward. Alright, so, for insufficient evidence, the matter did not go forward. And that, for us, is not sufficient for us as a people. That, for us, is not justice. We do not have answers to tremendous questions that we would have asked surrounding Ms. Barrett's death. We do not have the answers that are necessary. And we do not want to see a repeat of that type of policing. We do not want to see these continual instances of police killings. We want people, think about it, Trinidad and Tobago, we want people who are responsible for whatever criminal action to be arrested, to be tried within a reasonable period of time, and to be convicted if guilty of whatever crime. That is justice. Not you beat men to death or whatever, they fall off of a chair and we are left with no answer. I doubt that certainly the family of Morris, you know, we have all kind of other talk around the family of the other individual, right? His police family and covering for him, whatever, right? All kind of stuff in the public domain. But the family, the child, the wife of Mr. Morris, I mean, come on. Come on. And Mr. Hernandez puts forward that this was an active investigation. They didn't know Andrea was dead yet. So, in some essence, he's trying to justify the falling off of the chair and people falling him off of a chair. We must do better. We must do better. We must be extremely careful with this thing called information that is brought to us by people who supposed to be reliable and serving. We don't want to get tied up. Who come and tell Mr. Sturge that a TV in a man's cell? Who gave him that information? He make up that in his head? We have to be careful. We have to be careful. We have to understand the complicity. We have to understand the interaction between police and thief. We as a citizenry, we as Trinbagonians, we have to understand this beast that we're facing. We have to understand, like in the words of my late father, may God forgive him and bless him. We have to understand that everybody involved, except us. Except us who trying our best. Except us who love justice. Except us who are just even against ourselves. We have to be careful. Least we look like fools. I feel sorry for my Minister of Defense. Only had a man talking about a 65-inch in a particular individual cell. Who's giving that type of misinformation to our highest level of security, to our Minister of Homeland Security, of Defense, sorry? Who's manipulating our leaders? Because he will get the information and then he will sit down with the National Security Council, which involves our Prime Minister as well, and he will share that information and they will act upon it. And they will pretend like if, look, Mr. Big there. They will pretend and they will tell us and they will tell our political, look, Mr. Big there. And Mr. Big telling you, look, Mr. Big there. Let us be careful, Trinidad and Tobago. Let us be careful. All you tell me is that justice? Is that justice? That good enough? Is that sufficient for us as a population? Nah. No. And on sticking to the same issue of crime, which is extremely pertinent, we're in a state of emergency at the moment, right? We go on to our Prime Minister saying that there's going to be a rapid response police strike team coming. Now that songing a little interesting there, right? A rapid response police strike team coming. I don't know if that is the name of a football team, if they're going to score goals, but what was transpiring before in national security, isn't there a response team? We have to be very vigilant and we have to be very careful. And then we have our new police commissioner. I mean, as I said before, I don't really know him. We have a little idea that, he was in special branch, etc. for many years. So he was not really an individual who was active on the ground. And he's pictured again with this Punisher symbol on his shoulder. And what are we doing? What are we doing? And I understand the challenge that is being faced by our protective services, you know. But I also understand that they are part and parcel of the problem. And I also understand that some of the issues that they are creating. And I also understand that people are passing the blame around in Trinidad and Tobago. People passing the blame around. People using people as scapegoats. When if you dig deep to the truth of the matter, who's standing in front of you is involved. Trinidad and Tobago, I caution us as a people to think. I beg you all to think and ask questions. I beg our leaders to think. To be careful with these institutions that are compromised. Be careful, they will leave you looking stupid. They will leave you looking stupid. How will I could tell my Minister of Defense a 65-inch television inside a individual cell, and then all the proof comes out afterwards that that is not true? What are you doing? And are we going to run about with a Punisher symbol on our arm? What is that? I prefer if he had a brain, you know, like some symbol of intelligence. I would prefer if, as the patch on his shoulder, it had a brain, or, you know, a light bulb idea or something on his side there. And I say, all right. We're seeing a change in the course of our institutions. We're seeing more brains than brawn. We're seeing a departure from just ignorance and extrajudicial and not getting to the bottom of matters. And what you have a detection rate that is low. You have a conviction rate that is low. You have continually people going towards the court system, and the evidence is terrible. How can you get justice from that? Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Fuad.
Morning.
Now, let me say this morning. I didn't hear the debate yesterday because I was out. But the state of emergency has been extended for another week. The other day, actually, TNM politicians addressing a public criticized SOE of the UN. They say that carbon copy and paste and all kinds of things. But the reality is that you had to do something drastic, whether it's this government, that government, the other government, to try and arrest. My school of thought is, one, there has to be a serious cleanup act from all sectors. The judiciary starting with and coming down the line. People have to know who are the people supporting or fueling the importation of guns, arms, ammunition, drugs, etc. If we don't nip that from the top, then we will continue to only arrest the small fries, so to speak, and the big boys, the big ones, the big fries go laughing and smiling to the bank. You understand? So there has to be an overall approach. Why are people languishing in remand 10, 12, 15, whatever amount of years? How can we fix that? I have not heard any comment from the, the IWER about how we intend to fast track what needs to be fast tracked, to change what needs to be changed. I remember the last government said they're using the waterfront to put in 125 courts or something to that effect. You remember that one?
Nah, I don't remember that one.
Well, you could check it. You could check it. Remember, after the Parliament was moved back to the Red House, they spent a set of money to refurbish, to say they're going to put courts in the building down there.
Yeah, and they do use it at the moment. I think it's for civil cases though.
Right, but then we have some civil cases, we have criminal cases, but still, it's a lengthy process. We don't know why. You understand? And policemen and women who fail to appear in court when they're supposed to appear in court should be made to pay if the case is dropped or if it's, whatever the outcome of it, because you are neglecting your duty. You understand? You are clearly neglecting your duty. I don't know if there's another way of dealing with that system, but clearly it shows that delinquency in duty is cause for concern as well. I am sure if you go through the records, you will see how many cases have been discontinued because there is lack of evidence, there is no evidence, there is non-appearance by those who are supposed to appear.
Yeah.
You understand? Even lawyers do it too. Because lawyers take 10, 12 cases for the day, they get sidetracked with one go longer than the other, and all of these things. But we have to do something to start to make a dent in the judiciary and in the backlog of cases that we have all over the places. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I could do nothing but agree with you there. So, at least the strategic plan that I'm reading from, it makes some sense, which is a good indication. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, long time no hear, man. What going on?
I did alive. So we say thank God, we in the land living. I thought I could call this radio station, but I tried calling some evening, and the so-called batsman bats me out. So I wonder if you had the same instructions. So anyhow, let me hear you this morning. I hear you talk about the man and them who fall off the chair, and the outcome of the Andrea Barrett matter. The man that was held apparently was released. Not so?
Yeah, Mr. Mark Hernandez, who was charged for misbehavior in public office, his matter was dismissed for insufficient evidence.
So, I have a group of people justified the falling off of the chair that up to today's Tuesday, up to last week Tuesday, I had a conversation on another station that we would call an East Indian radio station, and had to point out to the host one of the reasons why Gary Griffith, you know what? Because of the set of police killings that we had last week. Sometime last week we had about 4. Not so?
5 in 5 days.
5 in 5 days. Thank you. So I was pointing out to the gentleman that 5 in 5 days, you know what? So please allow me. You know what made me point that out? I saw what we would call the National Security Minister. I can't remember the big fancy phrase that they give to him on an interview. And he was asked about body cameras. No, he was asked something about the police. And he said, don't ask me that. Look at the condition of the police vests and how it is. So I'm saying, that was the same man who's carried on a program in the evening, said to us, where was body cameras, that the body cameras, because that is what I was pointing out to the host of the next program, the body cameras are too cumbersome for the police officers to use, and would prevent the police officers from moving around. So since I heard him make the statement about uniform and bulletproof vests, so I asked the question, since the present National Security Minister observed that bulletproof vests is an issue for the policemen, that is to justify these 5 in 5 days, then if you know that and you had a problem with the cameras, incompetence, then when you're purchasing now, you should purchase proper bulletproof vests, that the cameras could not be incompetent. So I could see whether or not the actions of the police was justified in shooting the 5 men in 5 days. You understand the point I'm making?
Yeah, 100%. And jump high, jump low. not just this program as well, but all right-thinking Trinbagonians are going to continue to advocate for that accountability. And I'm going to read the Commissioner of Police strategic plan.
When the President Commissioner of Police does not agree to body cams. So I was pointing out to a gentleman on another program, one of the reasons for Gary Griffith losing his job is because we get some level of funding from the US and Canada and these places. And because of the death of a man sitting down on the chair and several other, a group of men leaving town and the police shoot up the car in town and they're dead, plus that one on the back road, all under one particular individual, Gary Griffith. And because of the action of that, made the Americans and them decide that they were going on. We ain't giving all this so and so because it seems as all they're carrying out execution. Police is executing people. And apparently that same thing is happening today. We can't solve the crime. So we decide the only way to solve the crime is to send a message to the bandit by that is their mantra, you know. That's why they come up with stand your ground. So eliminate the bandit, stand your ground, as if a man run in your yard and pick your avocado. I had the option to chop him up or shoot him. A mango, a avocado. I'm not saying that what they're doing is right.
Yeah. Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome, my brother. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, thank you very much. Jump high, jump low, as long as there are individuals like myself and others who are for justice, there will be accountability in the police service. Right? Good morning again, man.
Yeah, good morning. The question of there seems to be a growing, in fact not growing, there has been some mistrust with the policing as a matter of fact, and the conduct of police investigation. That has been going on for some time, and it evolved to an extent where you had the PCA, the Police Complaints Authority, serving as an independent unit to investigate complaints of police behavior. I don't know, so the question is that body effective? Because there seem to be, the distrust seems to be present, notwithstanding. Because the police, again, and that was set up because you didn't want police to investigate police misbehavior or misconduct. So I don't know how effective, but there seems to be some distrust or ongoing distrust with respect to police conduct of investigations against police officers. So that is an issue probably that they may have to deal with.
Yeah, and they're still investigating police officers because the PCA does not have those powers. They are limited, and they rely on the police to provide reports to them, which they skillfully drag along. It's a difficult process.
Yeah, but the thing about it here is this, is that the police is responsible for the conduct for investigation and the arrest and charge and all that. They collate or collect the witness statements, the evidence and all these different things, create the file and send it to the DPP. The DPP would advise as to whether they should charge or not charge, and the matter may go to the masters and whatnot, or the judge and whatnot, right? But and they have the sufficiency hearing and whatnot. But the point about it is this, is that this distrust that I am hearing, I think it has to do, because with the police, I don't know if in fact there's independence, or they perceive, or the population, a section of the population perceive that there is no independence in terms of the guardian of the evidence, the witness statement, putting the evidence that is put forward before the court, and which the police is initially responsible for. So that I am saying again, not trying to be repetitious, that that matter has to be dealt should be looked at, because people are saying that. I don't know, but I expect that those bodies would act, the PCA and whatnot, in the conduct would be independent. All right, so that is my take. And as you move on there, I just want to make one comment with respect to that. I heard on the debate yesterday where there was a crime plan, and what they said is that they adopted the manifesto as policy, and the crime plan is there. I have to look at it again.
I'm now about to read from the master plan to deal with crime that the police commissioner has set out, a strategic plan.
Well, the police has a plan. They say the police has a plan, and that is keeping with procedure or policy internationally. So I'll listen to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. West. And I'm heartened by at least there is a plan that has been presented, and that's why I'm saying I'm going to sew a badge with a idea or a brain on it, and present it to the police commissioner, because I think that would much better reflect what we want to see within our society than a punisher, right? And it would much more incline and fall in line with what he is supposed to do in terms of policing and the positive forward progression of the police service. We had enough punisher. Alright, the police commissioner, Alistair Gavero's strategic master plan to deal with crime, and you can find it in the daily newspapers, right? 1, operational efficiency and leadership development. Of course, they are broad headers that we are getting. We're not getting the detailed aspects of the crime, but we could still of the strategic plan, but we are still able to kind of understand what is meant. 2, an internal audit and organizational assessment to identify operational challenges, manpower constraints, resource distribution inefficiencies, and organizational culture gaps. All right. 3, convening of leadership meetings with divisional commanders to evaluate crime trends, enforcement effectiveness, and regional policing concerns. All right, I think at some level that would have existed, but I mean to a greater level. 4, the alignment of the TTPS strategic objectives with government's vision through collaboration with the National Security Council. And that is wonderful, because the mandate of the people is clear and has been articulated through the electoral process. So the TTPS aligning with that government vision is essential. 5, leadership training and professional development. For sure, I know an aspect of that would have been continual within the service, but there certainly needs to be greater leadership training and professional development. 6, structural and policy reform initiatives. That sounds necessary. I would be interested to really see how this is played out and how it is actually put into effect. Structural and policy reform initiatives. 7, accountability and monitoring mechanisms. Something that I think should be probably on the top of the list. And I insist, and we should insist as a population, that this reflects with, this constant monitoring of the procedure of our police. Again, if I just scroll through my Facebook feed or our YouTube, IWER TV, even our online site, I will see comments from people who have been afflicted by abuse from the police service, people who have been violated, disrespected, some people who even would have been set up. And that is not by any means acceptable. And monitoring our police officers and the execution of their duties will solve so much of our problems. So number 7 could go to number 1. Number 8, community engagement and police legitimacy, restoration of community comfort patrols. I know that one might be a little bit of a contentious and conversational point for Trinidad and Tobago. This auxiliary addition of community comfort patrols. I don't know if it is the same rubric as before with private contractors, or they're speaking about police themselves doing patrols. So we need to get the details of that in particular. But of course, community engagement and the legitimacy that the police gets from their interaction with the population is essential. Number 9, expansion of community-based policing strategies. We all know the wonderful work, right? I could speak about something that is positive at the moment, and it has been a positive element for some time. The youth clubs, the police youth clubs and other initiatives that are taking place in communities are absolutely positive initiatives that assist tremendously in building community ties and also the prevention of crime and the direction of our youth. So where there is positive, I am one to call and to speak about the positives as well. Number 10, institutionalize public safety advisory and educational programs. Number 11, strengthen investigative units, with advanced forensic tools and surveillance capabilities. Absolutely essential if we are going to move our service forward. 12, implement rapid response strike team focused on high priority criminal offenses, including firearms, kidnappings, and gang violence. I know there's a specific unit for that already, but whatever changes are being proposed, just be sure that that unit also complies and has that level of accountability with cameras, etc. And 13, the last point, expand divisional crime analysis units to proactively map crime trends and guide enforcement strategies. Of course, data-driven policing is the way of not even the future, the present in external countries, etc. So that is the strategic crime plan. We can take a look in the news and try to understand what is being proposed. But at least there is a plan, and we need that to come into effect as soon as possible. So blessings to everyone. A timely end to the points, the headers of this crime plan. It is of national interest to all of us. Let us be very, very cautious and vigilant as to what is taking place in our public space, because it affects us. All right, blessings to everybody. My apologies to the callers as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care.
Connect with your target audience. Advertise with The Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959 or 384-2232.
You want to find something great to do with your Tuesday nights? You want to learn and understand the true reason for Jesus? Then join us every Tuesday night